Hi! Sorry this post took so long, TikTok deleted my audio. But anyway, at this point you should have all your pattern pieces cut out. But there are so many pieces, how am I supposed to deal with all of this? Ding ding ding, it's time to sort all your pieces. First, I'll sort all my pieces into torsos, arms, legs, and feet. As an example, these are all my arm pieces. Then I will take them and separate side A and side B. And then from here, I like to do all the darts in this section. I personally hand sew these darts, that's why the seam allowance is a lot smaller. And then I use upholstery thread for all my hand sewing because I can't break it with my own hands. And from there, I'll do an itty bitty blanket stitch. Now that I've got all the darts done, I can show you what the tick marks are for. So here we've got the top and the bottom of the arm, and as you can see, they don't perfectly line up. The top goes up, whereas the bottom doesn't. But as you can see, these tick marks, if you push them together, they will help line up everything. When clipping them together, you'll see the two ends, you'll line them up and tuck all the fur in, and then you just have to clip it shut. Repeat that all across the seam, and then wrestle it into your machine. Set your machine to a straight stitch, then carefully sew down the line that you drew when patterning. From there, you will switch over to a zigzag stitch, and then make sure to set it to the longest and the widest stitch it can. Then you will do a zigzag stitch all the way along the edge. This will not only make your seams look really clean, but they will also strengthen your seam overall, which you need in a bodysuit. And I do this for every single seam. From there, I like to focus on sewing the individual sections separately. Here we've got our two legs, our two arms, and our front and back panels. At this stage is a good time to attach zippers to the legs because they are not attached to everything else. Back when we were drafting the patterns, I specifically put a triple tick mark where I wanted the zipper to start and stop. Now grab your giant separating zipper and unzip it. We'll first be working with the side that has the zipper tab. You'll take that tab and face it down towards the backing. Then we'll take the stopper and align the end to the center tick mark. And once that's placed, we can align the teeth along the line that we drew. From here, you just need to pin the teeth all along that line until it gets to the end. We've got a lot of extra zipper to work with. So next, I'll be sewing a stopper between the two teeth right above the third tick mark. Make sure to do a lot of passes so it's impossible for the pull tab to just fly off. Then cut off the extra and heat seal it. Then to make sure everything is secure, I like to tuck the extra zipper ribbon underneath the beginning stopper. And before I sew anything, I like to zip up the other side completely. That way I can see where the other end's stopper has to be. Then we'll trim it and heat seal that side. And now we can just move on to sewing the entire thing and brushing out the seam. And now the legs are done. Now we'll shift our focus to sewing the torso. We'll take the front and back panel and sew on the shoulder seams. Then take the matching arm and line it up close to the shoulder seam. And then once the arms are attached, you can lift up the whole project by the shoulder seams and then lay it flat and it should be a shirt. And then all you need to do to make it a shirt is sew the side seam and the arm seam. Unfortunately, your next task is to sew the legs on. There's no right or wrong way to do this, so just try your best and wrestle it under your machine. Then from there, all you gotta do is flip it inside out, brush out all your seams, and I'll see you in part 5.